Klokkie,
Ja, Thijs.
hoe gaat het?
Goed met jou?
Alright man, heb je voor ons een speciale gast gebracht?
Ja.
Ik wonder wie is dit?
Ja.
No way, Dampie.
Hoe Thijs, lekker.
Goed en jij?
Lekker, dank je man.
Welkom man.
Zeg, dank je.
Welcome Damian.
Say, thank
Good
you.
to see you.
Nice to see you Thijs as well.
Thank you.
Lekker, thanks.
Klokkie, so nice of you to bring Damian to our kicking around show. I mean, I've photographed Damian a few times, quite a lot of times on this field. You've played some amazing matches here. Since the day I can remember, you were the kicker, so you had the responsibility to get this team out of trouble or to get them in front. How did you handle that pressure?
Yeah, it's a good question. First of all, I'm Thijs and Coach Klokkie. Thank you for having me here today. Especially I've seen the videos on Instagram and everything, and it's quite the talk of the town. So thank you for having me. Yes, it's an honor and a privilege to be here today. To get back to your question, it's obviously a big responsibility and which comes with huge pressure. But for me, it was just keeping it simple, you know. Obviously doing your training throughout the week and knowing the key focus points you have to focus on, and just sticking to that and just backing yourself. I think kicking has a lot to do with confidence and how you go around your business, and just not focusing too much on the side shows or stuff that's going on outside, but just focusing on your process and how you want to get to your business. And yeah, for me that was quite simple, just focusing on my process, and yeah, that's how I went about it.
You coached him. I mean, I've seen you guys at Newlands, and you know, I think we spoke about it, the pressure that these kickers have when they've got not just the audience in the stand, the spectators, but also, you know, around the world the guys are watching them and they're criticizing them. What do you tell the kickers when you work with them?
The one thing I want to say about Damian, I've been coaching now for the last 20-25 years and exposed to a lot of kickers, especially a lot of talented kickers from schoolboy level. I must say one thing of Damian is, and the two things that stood out for me is, the first thing is work rate. He put a lot of hard work in, a lot of long hours in, and you can see that how he progressed over the last 2-3 years amazingly. And the second thing is amazing attitude that they have, because you can have the talent but don't have a good attitude with that. I mean, you're on the road to nowhere. And I must compliment him with a great attitude that you have. He's always willing to learn, always willing to listen, always willing to put in the extra time, extra minute or two. So that, I mean, that is good. And if you have those two things of hard work and a great attitude, you'll get a long way.
Okay. Damian, I remember coming back, I think it was 2015. I was on a road trip with my boy after going to Jeffreys Bay. I specifically came back to watch you play a Craven Week here on this specific field, Makota. And there was a fly-off playing for Eastern Province against you. You remember that match?
I remember that match clearly well, very well.
So who was the fly-off playing against you?
That was Cohen Bosch.
Cohen Bosch?
Yeah.
And now you guys are both Springboks.
Yes.
And
unbelievable.
Less than 4 years ago. It's really less than, exactly 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Because Craven Week was last year. And I mean, also a guy like Cohen again, you know, these guys beat them by about 100 points. And I remember Cohen tackling someone in the corner here. From the beginning to the end, you know, there's pressure on him. I don't know if you played in the match where Grey PE came back from 26-0.
No, I wasn't. That was the
lucky you. Lucky you. But you know, Kerwin kicked a kick on the same field. So sometimes you're on the winning side, sometimes on the losing side. So how do you handle that when you have big expectations to win, but then the result is not what you wanted? What do you do then?
I think that's one of the stuff that comes with being a professional player and being a kicker for your team. Sometimes there will come a time where you slot a kick. I can remember quite clearly. There was once where I played against the Bulls on Loftus.
At Loftus, I remember that.
Loftus, where
you had to kick it over for the win.
Yeah,
I remember.
That was just outside the 15.
And it was on a Sunday afternoon. I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. So that's where probably I had my first real test at a professional level. You know, to kick a goal for the win. And that's when I slotted my first kick. And going with that, I must say, just focusing on my process. That's the only thing I focused on. I had a positive attitude when I got the penalty. I knew like this is my moment to go for it now and to win the game. But on the other hand, sometimes it doesn't come off always. I can remember that in Super Rugby my first year, there was a couple of kicks that I missed, a couple of sockers.
Were you coaching?
I remember that kick that Damian talked about at Loftus.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's important for any coach out there and any player. If you do your homework in a week and you put the hard work in and you have good preparation, I mean, for me to bring on the tee and then put a lot of words in his ear. I mean, he's already in the zone, and that's why you just leave the kicker. You know what you have to do. Your job is to kick the ball over.
Yeah.
So if you come now as a coach and you say a lot of things in his ear, you actually take him away from his focus point, which is to focus on the process, as Damian said, and just kick the ball over. So I mean, and that is a good thing that Damian mentioned about focus on the process and not worry about the outcome. You focus on the process, the outcome will look after himself. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Damian, I remember another moment which I actually photographed, and that was losing, I think it was against Natal, the Currie Cup final.
Yeah, that was last year.
And I've got was it last year?
Yeah.
I've got a very special photograph of Ramon, your brother, consoling you. And I mean, that's a pretty special picture. What does the close family support mean to you?
Yeah, look, I mean, family is probably the most single thing that's always there and always supporting. You know, we all got friends and we've got coaches and everyone, and that's all nice and well. But family is the one consistent supporting and loving. That's always there. So for me, having a brother playing alongside him, you know, means a lot. And obviously he couldn't play; he was still out with his injury. And you know, that whole Currie Cup campaign, I wasn't with the team from the start. You know, I got to be with the Boks at that time. But you know, just to see how they gelled as a team and how much work Coach Dobbo and the team like put into that season, and obviously being undefeated throughout the whole Currie Cup campaign and coming to the end and losing it. And I think the most disappointing thing for me and for the team was that we did not play to our full potential and ability that day. And I think that's what hurt us the most that day. And obviously my brother being there and the rest of the squad being there, you know, for us, pretty much a sad day. But you know, these kind of stuff happen in life and in rugby, so we've got to take it on the chin and come out stronger.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, so the one question I want to ask Damian now, since he was playing for Paul Ruiz and he was training on this field, did his training, is there a big difference in your training as a schoolboy, the amount of hours that you spent kicking, being now professional? Do you train more or do you train clever now? Is there a difference between schoolboy and now professional kicker?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, training at school, obviously you've got a limited of hours. School comes out at 3 and you probably train until 5, 5:15. So in that time you'll probably have 30 minutes of training. Where you train professional, you've got at least an hour.
To make a big difference.
To an hour and a half, you know, to work on your kicking, because you've got 3 sessions a day, so you can do 30 maybe in that day, or you can chop it around.
Make a big difference
to how you want to train, which makes a huge difference. And I think it's just to go smart about how you want to train. I don't think you should just go and just kick the ball. I think you should go out with a structured plan.
And also think the more you train, maybe the better you will get. You must train smart, as you say. You can do a lot of good work in 10, 15, 20 minutes, then spending an hour on the field, and maybe you think you have a good training, but at least there's not a good training there.
100%.
Damian, another thing that I'm an onlooker with, I think with my Paul Gym 5th team fly-off background, I can't really call myself a rugby player. But I love the sport, I'm passionate about it. I've been photographing it for many years, more than 20 years. I photographed Andre Pollard in grade 6. I photographed you, I think in primary school, but definitely from grade 8, most of your matches. And for me, you're still the same guy.
Important.
So for me, there's something in you that's rooted not in your identity as a rugby player, but in something else. I mean, that's maybe a curveball asking you the question, but how do you stay the same Damian? I actually met you around the corner here. I remember the day as well when I introduced myself and met you. And for me, you're still the same guy. It's always the same. Although you've moved from a Paul Ruiz grade 8 first team under 14A rugby player, and you're now a Springbok.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to know who you are.
Good.
And to know kan ek sê jy weet waarvoor jy staan, like
Yes.
you know what you stand for.
Know what you stand for in life, yes.
In life, and just having good friends, and obviously both
Surround
mom
you
and
with
dad.
with the right people.
Yeah, surround
Yes,
yourself
yes.
with the right people. And
I've met
obviously-
your parents, and I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, 100%. My
And the
mom
people
dad,
need to
know,
keep you humble or your feet on the ground, yes.
Yeah, my mom and dad, you know, they always used to tell me, like, whenever I play rugby or whatever, they used to tell me that's just a bonus. That's
Yeah,
something God
that's
blessed you
it.
with.
Amen,
And
yeah.
obviously, I know for myself, my rugby career is it's limited. It
Yes,
can only be
yes.
for 10 or 15 years.
Yes,
Look at Israel,
yes.
like he played a couple of years ago, but now he's forced to quit. He
Yeah,
can't play rugby
exactly.
anymore. And
Yeah.
I mean, a
It
couple of
happened
years,
quickly, yes,
a couple of
yes.
years ago, he was really
was the
still
talk
up
of the
there.
town. He was the
He
best.
All black fullback, one of the best in the world.
One of the best in the
Right.
world. And today he can't play anymore. So for me, it's all about like just being yourself on and off the field, and just being a nice guy,
Yeah,
greeting
that's,
people.
That's great,
Yeah.
Damian, yeah.
You know, just as I
That's
said,
awesome.
just being yourself.
Just
And,
to taste
and I know
Yeah.
having a brother like Ramon, you're never going to get outside the white lines. He's going to pull you back into it.
Never.
What role has he played in your life?
No, look, my brother has played a massive role. Obviously, when I came to Paul Roos, he was my matric in hostel, so
Wow, that's special.
yeah, he took me
Yeah,
under,
that's
he took
good.
me under,
That's
under
good.
the arm, and he treated me like one of the other boys or the rest of the boys that was
Yeah.
there. There wasn't something special, like he's my brother, he's gonna get treated differently
Yeah.
or special or whatever. So, you know, definitely the respect he showed me when I came here, you know, that obviously goes a long,
It
a
helps
long
a lot,
way.
and it
helps
helps you a
a
lot,
lot.
yes,
It goes
yeah.
a long way with me. And yeah, I mean, he's a really hard worker, and something I learned from him, both
Right.
playing here. So, yeah.
Both of you guys are injured now.
Yeah.
How do you handle that? Do you chat to King Mona or?
Yeah, no. We spend a lot of time in the gym together now at the moment.
And that's a tough part of rugby, the injuries.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
a tough part.
And obviously, like for him being out now, he's been out for up to 10 months now.
Yeah,
8
that's a
months.
long time.
that's very
So that's
hard,
quite a
yeah.
long time. So his injury is a bit different to mine. I've still got a month and a half left.
Okay.
But yeah, we're spending a lot of time in the gym and we're keeping each other motivated. And it's just not nice to be injured, but it's nice to also be with him and spend time with him, because always when we're playing rugby, you're so onto
Yeah,
the next,
busy.
onto the next, it's busy,
Yeah.
and our lives is kind of like going past each
Yeah.
other. Hello, goodbye, how was the day? But not like having a good chat. So
So what I'm picking up now, Flocky, and I think that's why he's grounded, is that when it's going well and you're playing for the Springboks, you're so busy that you don't have time for your close friends and family. So this injury to you is not
Bring it close
something
to your
negative.
family, yes.
It's
Yep,
something part
yep.
of a professional sportsman life. And if you can take the positive out of that you spend more time with the loved ones, wow. I think that's
I agree.
exactly what I was.
Yes, I just want to ask
seeing.
Damian just one or two questions before we finish. Maybe just one question is pressure. I mean, I always say pressure is either your enemy or it can be your friend.
Yeah.
And as soon as you make it your friend, that is the best kickers in the world.
Okay.
As soon as you make it, and the moment you make it your enemy, you'll get nowhere.
Yeah.
So for you, Damian, pressure from schoolboy going to within 2-3 years you play Super Rugby player, became a regular in the Stormers team, and suddenly you play for the Springboks. How did pressure? How do you compare pressure, or how pressure from schoolboy to international Super Rugby? Is there a big difference, or is it still the same?
Can't be any difference between Paul Roos and the Springboks.
I think a lot of schoolboy kickers will look at this video and say, "Listen, I'm playing for my first team,
Yeah.
and now Damian has missed a kick at Super Rugby level, and I will say to myself, oh man, I will kick it
I will-
over.
I will-
I will kick
yeah,
it over."
100%.
But now suddenly,
yeah.
is there a big difference?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I used to sit at home and then someone would miss a kick or whatever. Like I can remember, like maybe like Kurt played that time or Dimitri.
Yeah.
So then I would be like, yo, why is he in the team? I could have slotted that kick easily.
Exactly, yeah.
But there's definitely a huge lot of
A big
pressure
difference, yeah.
on a kicker. But to link into to what you asked me earlier was getting into a team and playing. I think definitely the players you've got around you. Like when I got into the Stormers team and made my debut, I had Eben there, I had Johan de Jong.
People you look up to and watch on the rugby,
You know,
a good
and
support
like,
base. Yeah.
Being with that guys, you wouldn't even know how much confidence it gives a player, and
I can
just like
imagine,
having
yes.
like even a guy like Janu, like when he passes me the ball, that's already for me like a good kick.
Exactly,
Okay.
make
Wow.
a big difference.
Yeah.
Wow.
That split second.
And like
yes.
having guys like that in the team, you know, like it just boosts
Yeah.
Yes.
boost your play and that ability for you to to make that pressure a little bit less, you know.
Unbelievable.
But there's definitely a lot of pressure on a kick, and obviously the crowd and everything plays a huge role. I mean, on schoolboy there's still a lot of respect. Not that there's not respect on international and Super Rugby level, but on school, you know, people stay quiet for the kicker, and there's
out there they have no respect for you. They boo you.
Yeah, they boo you.
They boo you. And then the last question, then I want to ask.
Definitely.
You do.
No, then you can't switch off. I mean, it's just in a way you have to block it.
That's why I was a swimmer. I couldn't hear when they were playing.
Just the last question, Damian. If you have any advice for any, schoolboy kicker or any kicker looking at this video, any advice you will give him?
Yeah, I think for me, definitely number one is you have to be a hard worker. Hard work beats talent.
Great.
And then secondly, you have to be able to listen and learn from other people, from your coaches, your peers, whoever it may be. If you can learn something,
that's good advice. Yes.
Once a day or whenever, just take something with you that you learned, you know, and apply that, you know, or even if you see someone kicking on TV, check what he's doing and take that and put it in your trade and build your empire through, with that. And then lastly, you know, to enjoy what you're doing, because
that is really true. That's a good point.
We are really fortunate to travel the world and play on different places in South Africa and Western Cape, wherever we may playing. So yeah, just enjoy what you're doing, work hard, and learn as much as you can.
Thanks, Tim. That's great advice. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Always good to see you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Raak gou gesond. Groete vir King Mona. Thanks, Billy.
That's it.
Baie dankie man.
Yes, imagine jy het nie die record nie. Jy sê gaan nou gaan ek vir jou vloek.